in my tradition, so I'm
Nigerian.
Yoruba, a lot of wisdom was passed through story and song. Here's the reason. When we communicate in story or song or myth, this is a way that we can access our subconscious. That's the language of the subconscious, is symbols. This is why in dreams, this is your subconscious seeking to get your conscious attention, and it's up to you to explore and decipher what those symbols are, subjectively relative to the individual. What you hear in a song is not what I hear in a song.
Right.
Because it's all dependent on where our journey is.
Right.
The ancients knew.
You feel like you would be that kind of person from your tribe?
I just got chills when you asked that.
Hello and welcome to the Full Potential Living podcast. This podcast was built to explore and activate our human potential through one powerful conversation at a time. We talk about the 6 pillars that help you live a full potential human life in the age of AI. Health and longevity, inner fulfillment, new success or meaningful contribution, consciousness development, generational impact, and sharing all that with meaningful relationships and people in your life. Not as a prescription, but as a description of how people are living their unique full potential life. Today, we got a special guest, really cool guy, Samson Odunsanya, a father, coach, and transformational guide. Samson has built a community of over 47,000 people sharing his work across respected platforms, including podcasts like Elevate with Jack DeLosa, Front Row Dads, Sacred Sons, Ever Forward Radio, and The Higher Self. His search for truth has also taken him across the world. Listen closely, guys, including through the ancient sites of Egypt, pyramids, human identity, exploring history, and human consciousness. And I really respect him and his work and who he is as a human being. For you guys listening today, listen closely, because the reason you should listen today is because Samson's real power is in his deep inner knowing of himself and his ability to guide almost anybody back to themselves. His greatest accolade may be the most powerful one there is. This is why you should listen closely. Inner fulfillment and inner knowing. And so guys listening today out there, yes, I'm talking to you across the screen. Listen from your truest self. I give you permission to listen from your true self. Drop the walls, the performance, and the self-judgment, and listen from your truest self today. And welcome, Samson, to the Full Potential Living podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
What's up, bro?
I feel like I'm about to fight a pay-per-view headliner. Man. Dude.
Yeah, bro.
What a blessing, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here, man.
Yeah.
And it's so cool, the way we connected.
Yeah.
And it was so synchronistic that day. I met somebody that randomly invited me to Preston Smiles' house. And I've seen you at the gym, though, before.
Yeah.
On it, Correct Fitness.
Yep.
And you always have this, quiet, confidence and just, groundedness.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, doesn't have to be a heavyweight fight, but...
No, it feels good.
Yeah. So, what's new and exciting in your life today?
Yeah, such a good question. What comes top of heart right now is just the relationship that feels so good. It feels so nourishing with my wife and my family.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a new stage of an experience that I didn't even know was possible, but only by way of a deeper level of honesty and truth with myself that opened me up to, I would say, be present even more. And then, I took a little hiatus. There wasn't much of a hiatus. Maybe I'm kind of over-exaggerating, but I would say I'm back to creating again. I'm back to sharing and offering my gift in a more public way, which we can talk about. But
Okay. Gotcha. Wow. So what do you think for anybody listening today,
Yeah.
what do you think they could gain from this conversation or something that might interest them in, whatever's going on in their life right now? Top of your heart.
I don't know yet. Let's dance.
Yeah.
Let's dance.
Let's dance.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, my first question is, you've mentioned like being the rock in the storm. It's hard to put like a title on a lot of what you do. And, can you take us back to when the rock was hardened? When you realized the man you had to become to survive was no longer the man who could carry you forward. Any time that comes to mind?
Of course. Yeah, more recently, I would say about the last year. And this last year was probably one of the deepest and most challenging. When I say challenging, based off of the fruit that I'm now bearing on the other side, it's like the most challenging that I've experienced in my 38 years of life so far. But I'd say let's take a few steps back on like why I had to be the rock.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, parents separated when I was 4 years old. And in that moment, not having really the necessary support in helping affirm my confidence, or rather affirm that things are going to be okay. I think at that age, I instinctually stepped forward to be strong. Strong for my mom, strong for the situation.
Yeah.
And then over time, I realized the reward in that, right? The reward in being strong. It's like, okay, let me make sure everything is okay. And that over time compounded and evolved into not just being strong for my mom, but being strong for other people, being strong for my family, being strong for society, being strong for the world. Which bled into also being the fixer, and wanting to be the savior, and wanting to ensure that everything was okay, which on paper sounds very noble. It's great. But over time, and more recently, the cost was that when I would look over my life, the effort and the reward didn't match.
Okay.
Like the energy that I was putting into championing this idea of wanting to take it all on and be the rock, didn't yield, in my mind, what I thought it was going to yield. And for that little kid, it was love and a sense of belonging and validation in a way.
Yeah.
So the last year where the rock really shook me was my stepfather passing in July last year. And just for context, like death for me is not like it's not challenging. Like I used to work with death as an ER tech. I used to be, part of my job was, CPR and, dressing up the body, putting in the body bag, taking it to the morgue. So I've watched many people transition, which I think was also part of my own development. But my stepfather's, who was the man of our family, he's been in my life since I was 5. He passed in July. And this was also happening on top of being on the road because we had to move again with the family. So I was going to go volunteer. I actually went to go volunteer for the flood victims in Leander. And then that night I get a call that, hey, he's having a seizure. Later on, realized, not that much brain activity. Next morning, I'm in Philadelphia, 6:30 p.m. He's gone.
Oh, man.
And I realized in that moment, what really broke me was having to video call my mother in from Nigeria because she couldn't be there in person, and her watching her husband pass away via video call. So in that moment, I was I was sitting with the conversation of like, okay, here you are again having to hold it together for your siblings and your mom, but I couldn't. Like that right there like really broke. And I think that began the cascade of also revealing all the other parts of my life where I was trying to hold it together, but I couldn't anymore.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the part of me that learned to hold it together for most of his life, that was the season where I realized I wasn't holding it together. And a huge part of that I realized that was actually working against me was in me trying to hold it together. I also pushed away the support that could have
Mm.
really helped
Mm-hmm.
in times that I didn't know I needed it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you think a lot of men experience that?
Yes.
And have you helped some men kind
Yes.
of work through that? So you think like the problem is kind of not being able to show vulnerability, um, or yeah, what have you helped men with in
Yeah.
that same scenario?
I don't even think the issue is not showing vulnerability. On some level, yes, it is. Like I didn't have issues with vulnerability, right? It was selective vulnerability when I explored what mine was.
Ah,
It
okay.
was so in intimate, more one-on-one settings, and if I know who's around,
Yeah,
yeah, we can go to the depths of the abyss. Like
yeah,
that's no issue.
yeah.
But I think it's when it's beyond that, when I'm not in
Mm,
control of who's seeing,
mm-hmm.
that's when I've noticed it's a thing, right?
Yeah.
Which again, I digress. But for men, I would say yes and no.
Mm,
I think there's an element with a lot of men who it was not welcome for them to express emotion or show emotion. So
yeah,
I think a part of holding it together is that as well.
right. And
Yeah.
not asking for help,
Yeah.
you know.
And not knowing they can or not knowing how to
Mm-hmm.
or not judging that help is bad. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
right. Yeah, I wanted to, get vulnerable with the audience today too, because and give them permission because I hired a coach
Mm,
this year,
mm,
and I've been, in this journey for a while. I was talking to Preston like
yep.
last week,
Yep.
and we're talking about how I have, I try to walk the walk,
Yep.
not just talk it, not
Yep.
just help other people
Yep.
as a coach, but like by my own coaches. And as soon as I invested in that, one of the most powerful things that came from it was self-judgment. Like
Mhm.
I didn't realize, dude,
Mm,
how much I was judging
mm,
myself. It was crazy. Like, I just had this moment. I had my coach, Dr. Mark Matthews, by the way, shout out. But he was like, Eric, there's a story. I think it's in the Bible or something like that. He's like, there's a story of this man who he's looking into the lake. He's just staring into the lake. And maybe you've heard it before, but he's just staring into it. He stares into it for so long and sees his reflection
mm,
that he falls into the lake
mm.
and he drowns and he dies. And he's like, Eric,
Mm.
that's not you. I was like, what? And he's like, you're the opposite. You're so judgmental of yourself that you're not willing to look at yourself in the mirror because you don't want to see it
Yep.
because it's so hard on yourself.
Yep.
And in that moment, bro, it was like all these flashes through my mind
Yeah.
hit, and
Yeah.
all the times I looked into the mirror and I judged this little thing about my hair. I judged
Yeah.
this little thing about
Yep.
my face, like about my legs,
Yep.
like not having thicker, like,
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like all these times flashed through my head. And I was like, oh my God, I have judged myself so much throughout my whole life subconsciously. And I think a lot of just people in general,
Yeah.
but the way our society is set up from externally looking at ourselves, but I think as men as well, like, so it's a lifelong journey, but how can someone recognize when they're authentically like expressing themselves versus performing, or having that self-judgment?
I mean, I think self-judgment or just judgment in general is natural. I think it's a part of the human experience.
Mm-hmm.
Where there's an opportunity is when you realize you're judging the judgment.
Ooh, that's good.
So
Tell us more.
Yeah. When we think we're not supposed to be judging, as if, again, there's something wrong with judging, and not recognizing that the judgment is also an opportunity to see where we're not complete, where we're not whole, where we're not being honest. So a lot of these elements in our lives are like doorways or like subtle alarms or taps on the shoulders to invite us back into the reflection, into the lake. Right? So
Yeah.
I think one of the ways is presence. Right? So the question of knowing if you're performing versus being authentic. I think in a question to that question is asking where the lie is. Where am I lying to myself? That will always expose the truth. Always. It's not even like a big process. Like, where am I lying to myself? And then you'll either feel it in your body, or you'll find your mind seeking to do damage control and try to avoid that question, right? So, even authenticity, you don't have to be authentic. You just be. The idea of trying to be authentic is a performance in itself.
Right.
Right. So I think it really comes down to where have we learned over time that who we are is unlovable and unacceptable. That's where we'll start to find opportunities to, again, resolve or bring ourselves back into truth. Yeah.
Wow. I love that. The judgment of the judgment is the problem.
I won't even say it's a problem. It's just this.
It just is.
Yeah.
Has there been a lie that you've found in yourself?
Oh yeah.
That
I could hold it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the biggest lie. You know, when you talked about getting a coach, congratulations, by the way. And, you know, I could only imagine the courage it takes to bring yourself into humility. And it's not like, oh, I want to get a coach to be better. It's just like, hey, I need support, right?
Yeah.
I've had support different stages of my life. But
Right.
this last, I would say 2 years is where I needed it the most. But within that, I recognized that I was acting like I had it all together. And I'll just share. There was a moment. I was on this call with this coach. His name is Joe Hudson.
Okay.
And how I ended up on that call, it was, you know, I'm curious by nature, so I'm always exploring. I'm always, you know, seeing what's up.
Yeah.
So I was on YouTube. I found one of his videos, and he's masterful at what he does. And I was like, oh, let me see more of his work. And I think a deeper part of me was already searching for where I could be held. So for me, it wasn't just about support. It was someone being able to hold me the way I hold others.
Oh my God.
Right. So, you know, so it's like, that's in my work, that's all I do.
Yeah.
But for my nervous system to get to a place in trusting someone else's nervous system that they can handle, right? Like, that's, I think, what I was seeking. So I end up on this call. It was one of these live coaching calls he was doing, and there were 800 or 900 people on.
Oh, wow.
So the likelihood of getting called up is probably like, 1 out of 900.
Yeah.
I was one of 6. I was one of 6 that got called up.
Oh my God.
First time. So
Divine union.
Yeah. So he asked me, what's your question? And I found myself like setting context, having to like let him know who I am, the journey I've been on, 20 years on this. Like, I'm like setting context, explaining myself, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, what's your question? And I'm pretty intentional with my words. I would say I'm competent.
Yeah.
That call, I couldn't get out my question. I was just like,
Yeah.
Like, I was like almost like glitching.
Yeah.
And he looks at me. He says, here, stay with me. He says, there are worlds upon worlds that are dying to help you. And I just cracked. I just cracked.
Wow.
he just knew exactly what to say in that moment. And for me, I just think I just needed to be able to know that I can put it down, even for just that
Yeah.
hour that I was on the call.
Right.
And I just let myself be there, and I have no issue doing that. Like, I just let myself be there.
Yeah.
Tears run down my face,
Yeah.
no explanation. And it was after that moment where I started to see all the ways I was lying to myself. Yeah. That I had
Wow.
it together. I started to see how that was affecting my family. I started to see how it was preventing me from showing up. And this was the biggest realization that I had during this period. I was escaping responsibility by being responsible for everyone else.
Oh, responsibility for what? Taking care of yourself?
What's in me.
Oh.
So I was shying away. I was hiding from what I was born to do. I was doubting it. I was overthinking it. I was intellectualizing it. I was trying to figure it out. I was trying to negotiate with this gift inside of me of what I was born for. So I avoided that by making sure that I was taking care of my family, or making sure I was taking care of other people. I placated to what people needed instead of actually creating the environment for this thing to be fostered so I can give it. So I was avoiding the responsibility of my soul by being responsible, because I learned how to be responsible for everyone at a very young age. So yeah, so I was lying. That was where I was lying to myself. I was lying to myself and acting like, yeah, this is not what I'm here for.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I think sometimes that's a prevalent thing for a lot of people. You know, the more I do this, man, like I was talking with my good friend yesterday, we went on a walk.
Yeah.
Coffee walk. We got this like tradition. And we were talking about it. And I was like, the more I get into personal development, just growing, you know, I call it like uncovering my full potential, because it's already there, right? Like, know thyself. That's all you need to know. And I'm like, dude, the more I do this, the more I realize how subtle it is.
Oh yeah.
The changes are. There are all these like microscopic inner things that you feel that are not like
a little thread that just gets.
Yeah. Right. These little things that you avoid, you know, that you didn't realize you were avoiding, that were blind spots.
Yeah.
It's like the girl that you go out with, but you know deep down, no. You're like, nope, it's not right for me. But you're like,
that right there.
Yeah.
That right there.
Yeah.
I call it the voice.
Ooh, the voice.
I call it the voice.
How do people, even people that, because we're talking to people that are like,
yeah,
some of them have never dove into this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other people, you know, are like, okay, yeah, I love this stuff. How do we like introduce that to people that are like, this is wild, crazy, like how do we introduce that world to them?
Explore the ache that's on your heart.
Yeah.
Even if life looks like it's working on the outside, when you go to bed at night, you know something is off.
Yeah.
Allow that to invite you to where that is. Because I can't say one specific thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm not here to prescribe one specific thing. It's
Describe.
But it's one thing I know for sure is when you notice that there's a certain loop or a pattern that's happening over and over again, that's a door. When you notice, let's say, for example, you're in a relationship and it ended the same way the last one did, that's a door. If you notice that maybe you're a parent and you have kids and your kids are being children and you find yourself reactive, that's a door. If you notice that you avoid tough conversations, that's a door. There's so many doors, but you know the ache in your heart, and usually it can show up in a multitude of ways.
Yeah.
It can show up in, you know, shutting down or wanting to run away or wanting to be combative, or, you know, another beautiful way is, and this is, I want to say it's not more advanced, but it just requires a bit more attention, is listening to your body.
Yeah.
Only reason I said it's more advanced is because there are some people who are actually not in their body. They're disassociated.
Totally.
For justifiable reasons. So that's another way. But there are signs if we're willing to slow down and pay attention.
Yeah. I like the way you put that. It's like there's doors.
There's doors.
So it's like becoming aware of that feeling on your heart, or that constant
ache,
the ache.
It's the constant thing that's like nudging you.
Yeah. It's like internally, you're like, you need to explore that and open the door.
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
Yeah.
There's no judgment and be
Or-
like, all right,
yeah.
what is this thing? Because I like to think of like, fear and these inner, processes we have are really like ourselves knocking on the door. Like fear
Yes.
is knocking on the door going,
Yes.
hey,
Yes.
there's something out of alignment here. Check it out. You should know
Yes.
about this.
Yes.
It's really just knocking on their door
Yes.
to help them.
We have systems.
Open the door.
We have systems within systems of this imperfect perfection of this human body, these psyches,
Yeah.
these minds
Yeah.
that, in my opinion, from what I've just noticed, are working for us. There's a self-organizing mechanism in the entire universe
Yeah.
that the creator intentionally put there, meaning that whatever strays away from wholeness has to find its way back. Whatever strays away from the 0 point or homeostasis has to find its way back. You inhale, you do it for a little bit, you hold it as long as you can, and you're going to have to give it back. And once you give it back, you're going to have to pull it back in.
Yeah.
So there's this, I think there's this delicate harmony and balance that keeps this thing afloat. So when you're giving too much to one side, right, there are going to be things, there are going to be mechanisms, there's going to be even biological mechanisms that invite you back to bring it back.
Yeah.
You give too much to one side, it's like, hey, you may find yourself in a relationship that may seem toxic, but what if it's a door to invite you back to what in you ended up with that type of partner? Like it's all doors. Again, it's all looking at the lake again.
Yeah.
It's all looking at the lake and
look at the lake,
willing to fall into the lake. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild. And I'm curious about your experience inside the pyramids.
Oh,
like what? How many pyramids did you go into in Egypt?
Oh,
it was like the bent one.
Yeah. So the Giza Plateau, there was only 2 that were open, so they closed one. There's a rumor. There's maybe a conspiracy. I'm not fond of the organization that's running it and the so-called head of antiquities there, but that's a later conversation.
Yeah.
But there's a rumor that they don't open all 3 at once. Something about how, whatever. I digress. But I went into the Giza pyramid, so the main one. Went to the Bent pyramid.
So there's 3 that don't open at the same time.
There's 3 that don't open at the same time. It's strange.
What is that? Do you mind? What is that about?
I don't know. But if you look at the architecture of these sites, they were intentionally placed there. Yeah, they were intentionally placed there.
Activated all at the same time.
You
Trinity.
You look at them from the top, it looks like a chip. It looks like a microchip. Like the ancients they weren't onto something. They knew.
Right.
They knew. They were connected. They had technology. They were connected to nature. They understood the principles of life. They used the principles of nature to enhance their society. They used the principles of nature and some of that architecture to also enhance their spirituality. So, you create a better environment of spirituality. What are you going to do? You're going to give it back and build more. So that's what I felt there. But I think we went through a total of 3 or 4 pyramids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Giza pyramid was incredible.
Yeah. Can you tell us about that? Like, what was the experience, the energy like?
Yeah.
Inside.
So again, this is my, anecdotal, right? Subjective experience.
Yeah.
But I would advise if anyone has the opportunity to go, feel it yourself. No matter what anybody can say about that place, no movie, no documentary, no book, and I've read a ton of them for like 18 years, did justice to actually being there. When you get there and you feel how small you are compared to these sites, you're talking about anywhere from 2 to 300-ton stones, like massive.
Wow.
They're massive.
How the heck did they
Massive.
sculpt that?
I have my
Who
theories.
Sculpted that?
I have my theories, right? We may need another episode for that.
Yeah.
But it was magical. when you understand even the technology or just the intelligence and the intentionality of even the minerals they use. So,
Mm.
you know,
Wow.
yeah, you're talking like limestone, you're talking quartz, you're talking, and I'm blanking on some of the minerals and
Mm-hmm,
stones here,
mm-hmm.
but these are all conductors of energy.
Yeah.
They're all conductors of energy. So
Yeah.
they knew when specific stones and minerals were together, they knew a certain result it'd create.
Yeah.
Um, in the pyramid itself, the acoustics were unreal.
Oh, was there like echoing
V-
that you heard, or?
Yeah. Oh yeah. More than echoing. Like we got an opportunity to to hum and sing in vocal tone, and it's wild. Um,
Mm.
I also got to lead a very small like breathing session in there.
Oh,
Yeah, it's one of the
yeah.
highlights of my life.
Wow. Okay.
One of the highlights of
Wow.
my life.
Tell us about that. So you did breath work,
Yeah,
because
and
that's part of what you do in your work.
yeah, it's one of the
It's
tools I utilize.
one of the
So I was
tools.
able to just get the group connected and centered, and then we all had an opportunity to lay in the sarcophagus that was in the middle of the Great Pyramid.
Oh,
And when you're in that box, just my experience, it's like you don't even have to force it. You just hum and you tone and you feel.
is
You
this like the bottom of the pyramid or the top?
no,
Or
this is like the mid.
in
It's
the
the
middle?
middle of the pyramid. So where the
Whoa.
king's chamber is.
Whoa.
So we were in the king's chamber.
Whoa. That's
And
epic.
when you're laying in the box and you're humming, you can
Bro.
feel how much of a meditative experience it is. Now, the theory is that the priests and the high officials and even the pharaohs would go in there and connect and be able to
Yeah.
chant and meditate and bring down from the heavens
Right.
maybe
Information.
or wisdom, right? I don't know how strong that theory is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, let's say, inaccuracies when it comes to
Mm.
Egyptian history.
Okay.
All I can speak to is of my experience.
Mhm.
What was also cool, because we visited a total of, so I was there for about a little over 2 weeks,
Mm.
and we visited 27 to 28 sites. So we were busy.
Whoa.
Um, oh my gosh, I'm blanking right now. I'm not in my Egypt brain. Once I turn my Egypt brain on, it comes on. But I'm not in my Egypt brain right now.
27 to 28.
Yeah. No, I'm
sites.
thinking of a specific site where a lot of the obelisks are at. And anyways, it was Karnak Temple.
Karnak
Yes.
Temple. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's a party trick, but it happens quite often, right?
Yeah.
Our hotel keys like demagnetized.
Mm.
So we walked there, our hotel keys were fine. They say it happens all the time.
Really?
So you walk through that place, it just demagnetized, and we have to go reset them every time. They said this is like a thing. But yeah, when you're in person and you see some of these statues and you see some of these temples and these sites, and the fact that we haven't been able to replicate that
Yeah.
the same way they did.
Yeah.
And some of, there's also a part on the Giza Plateau where you go underground and you have these 50-ton granite boxes that are sawed out with perfection. I'm talking about by the way, they've tested it. They've asked experts around the world. If you read books, I see I'm not my Egypt brain because I would just drop authors right now. Yeah, I'm not in my Egypt brain right now. But there are books out there where there's a lot of, mechanical engineers and engineers of different industries who've attempted to replicate. And they said there's literally, it's almost damn near impossible. And it will cost millions of dollars to even try to replicate those granite boxes. So again, there's still questions around how it was done. There's a lot of theories, but yeah, if you go visit it, you'll see yourself like, yeah, it's pretty interesting.
And I think the feeling of it is
Yes.
the most interesting part, like
Yes.
how your body feels or how the
Yes.
energy feels. 'Cause
Yes.
I'm sure it's
You'll feel
super powerful.
You'll feel it.
Yeah.
You'll feel it for sure.
Wow. And you took people through a breath work.
Yeah, experience
Session
in the
there.
King's Chamber. It wasn't like
Wow.
anything big. It was just a really, slight connecting breath. But for me, it's like just to even have the experience to do that in the King's
epic,
Chamber.
bro. That is
Yeah.
epic. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a life experience. It's like you never forget that, I'm sure.
Yeah, when I came across just like knowledge of Egypt at the age of 19, like everything, like that moment made everything worth it. Like all the
Yeah.
studies, all the curiosity. So just to
Yeah.
get there. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Well, I know you looked into that a bit, and I have one more question about it
Yes.
because
I wonder where he's about to go.
because you know, I wrote this down because I was like, wow, this is super interesting. I saw a little bit about your journey,
Yeah.
but yeah, what is, I don't know if you can answer it or not. You can say no. What is one lie about history you learned that wasn't actually true after traveling to Egypt?
The dates.
The dates.
The dates of when they told us the pyramids were built or their sides were built. They're much older.
How much older?
Again, this is just ballpark. I'm not a anthropologist. Is that the right profession? I'm not an archaeologist. That's what I meant. The guide that we had, so we had a guide he's into studying. So when you go there, there are guides. There are typical guides that kind of give you the run of show in the script, and then there are guides that actually study. So our guide, and this is even outside of what I've studied, he was saying the pyramids are at least 10,000 years old. 10,000.
And what does current history say? Do you know?
5,500 to 6,500.
Okay.
But he said 10 to maybe 40,000 years old.
Oh, wow. Holy cow.
Yeah, so we don't know, but they're much older. And they're also, this is known, like they're doing a job of trying to cover up what's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're almost making it seem like there's a point where you go watch the fallen obelisk or the incomplete obelisk, the unfinished obelisk, I think it's what it's called. And again, this thing is like hundreds of feet tall. You're looking at probably hundreds of tons of granite carved to perfection.
Oh my God.
And you know what they're telling us they did it with? Hammer and chisel.
No shot.
Like
no shot.
The presentation video is like, oh, they took rock and they were just kind of like, chiseling. I'm like, are we like stupid?
Yeah.
So it's either that they know and have access to the technology, or a theory that I'm running with is our consciousness devolved.
We went through the dark ages, right?
Yes.
We're coming out of the dark ages.
Yes. So I think there's cycles to everything. We have individual cycles.
Yeah.
There are natural cycles. There are biological cycles. There are financial cycles.
Yeah.
There are cycles to everything. And there are cycles of consciousness as well. Yeah. The theory that the rabbit hole that I went down is at a certain point, and it's funny, I was looking at a book that says Golden Sun over there, so it reminded me of the Golden Age. There was an age where people who were alive and present at that time had, what you would consider supernatural abilities and gifts that we still have access to, but not like fully. And they were able to, things like obviously communicate telepathically.
Yeah.
Which you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that you can do that. It's possible.
Right,
you could even do that now.
Right.
Moving objects with energy. It's interesting because that's also coming back around. There's some people that I follow on Instagram that literally can move objects. And it's not like a party trick. It's like they're moving water bottles. They're moving.
You've seen it with your own eyes?
I'll share the page with you.
Oh my God.
This kid's like shutting off fire with the snap of his finger. So he's been able to master energy within himself, right? So if one kid from some city in the United States can do it, imagine what was possible when that was what the age required.
Yeah.
And I think why we devolved is in my opinion, what I've studied is we go through periods of global cataclysm. So there's a cataclysm that happens every so often.
Yeah.
And I think the last one was about close to 13,000 years ago.
What, Atlantis?
Maybe, maybe.
Yeah.
And the cataclysm like caused a reset. And yeah, when you lose access to maybe some of your faculties, you lose access to information. There's even some stories that's why the hieroglyphics are on the walls of the sites. It's because, I mean, if a site is 10 to 20 to 30 to 40,000 years old and it stood the test of time, I mean, you have access to information that are still on the walls, and it's all there.
Wow.
It's all there. I still think there are places within that land that haven't been discovered, but that are only going to come forward when our consciousness is ready for it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because it's like a collective consciousness that we need to be sort of ready for this stuff to come out. Because there's so much more human potential that we have.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
A couple episodes ago, we were talking with Dr. Ryan Rossner, and we were talking about alien disclosure a little bit, and that was pretty wild. But you know, one of the things that he mentioned, he's also a scientist.
Okay.
He's a PhD molecular biology.
Okay.
Yeah, and former NFL kicker, and then like,
oh wow,
very interesting journey. You know, we got some athletes on here that are like also spiritual and scientific, like yourself. And one of the things that he said was, you know, our recorded history. Now we have to go back and exactly the number, but something like 5,000, 6,000 years old.
Yes,
recorded history.
Yes,
but when you look at these pyramids, when you I study another guy, Billy Carson.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I have questions about Billy, but
okay. Some of his stuff is really fascinating for him to be like on the ground and being there. But for us to basically, not even about Billy Carson, but for us to only have 5,000 years of recorded history is mind blowing.
I think the reason is because we also have to look at the mechanism. We went from oral traditions. This is how communities, this is how kingdoms, this is how civilizations did it in the past. Indigenous groups, right? It was all oral. In fact, in some traditions, I know in my tradition, so I'm Nigerian. Yoruba.
Cool.
I don't know how it is right now, but a lot of wisdom was passed through story and song.
Right.
So there was no need to write. Here's the reason. And it's also how, this is why on the pyramids or in those sites, the hieroglyphics are symbols. They're not words or letters, they're symbols. When we communicate in story or song or myth, this is a way that we can access our subconscious.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that's the language of the subconscious, is symbols. This is why in dreams, this is your subconscious seeking to get your conscious attention. So, but it's only going to communicate through symbols, and it's up to you to explore and decipher what those symbols are. Why story and song was the mechanism? Because it is subjectively relative to the individual. What you hear in a song is not what I hear in a song.
Right.
Because it's all dependent on where our journey is.
Right.
But if I write something down as law, then there's no fluidity in that.
Ooh, wow.
So now it becomes this one thing instead of a principle that's a catch-all.
Oh my goodness.
So I think when we started to write, even though it was a way to be able to spread information and wisdom and knowledge, there's also a constraint that happened to how we evolve, because the ancients knew. If I sing you a song, if this song has lasted thousands of years, if I was born in the tribe and my job, my life, literally, there's initiations for wisdom keepers where their entire life is to learn to learn the songs, to learn the stories, because
my God.
they are the ones who are passing it to the future generations.
Mm.
Then you know how important it was for these stories and songs
Oh my God.
and these myths,
Oh my
right?
God.
So yeah,
Do you feel like you're that kind of a person? Like you would be that kind of person from your tribe?
yeah. I just got chills when you asked that. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've had like visions and dreams of it in the past.
Past lives?
Yeah. I've had like visions of dreams of it. You know, it's it's interesting you said that. It's like I feel like the last 3 years, even in my life right now, I feel like there are things that are almost bubbling up from my cells and DNA that can't be taught to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, the challenge that I've had was seeking to like look for it out in the world.
Yeah.
And you know, in times like this is where you need intentional people around you to help
Yeah.
nourish that. But
Right.
yeah, I think there are people specifically designed to be wisdom keepers, but how it's expressed now or how it looks now in modern society is different.
Well, that's mind blowing. That is mind blowing. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, for you personally, because I can see that, you know, you don't have this kind of a life path as a
Yeah.
transformative guide
Yeah.
without.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've also taken people also through like journeys as well.
Yeah,
Is that right?
thresholds. Yeah.
Like shaman as a shaman or like,
That word activates me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call myself one.
okay.
But I guess if you look at the ingredients of what it is, it may be. But I think simply put, my life is organized around being able to stabilize and be so present in the in between that's what I support people with. So yeah, when survival identity is no longer working, or when an athlete knows he's complete, or when someone just dies, or when someone is moving from, you know, single to, you know, marriage, or when someone is becoming a first-time father or mother, or when someone is going through mountains of grief they haven't allowed themselves to feel, like that's where I come alive. I help people transition.
Yeah. And I've seen you've helped like pro athletes. I've saw that. You've helped coaches, executives, leaders,
everyday people, parents.
Yeah.
It's looking more like now people who are carrying a lot. So leaders of leaders.
Can you help me, bro?
I'm here, bro. I'm here.
Leaders of leaders.
Leaders of leaders is the people who are carrying it all on their shoulders that rarely have spaces to be held the way they hold other people.
Yeah, and I've heard numerous amazing things, you know, even just looking on your testimonials, but like great things from Preston, great things from multiple people about your work, man.
I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, and I can feel it and I can see it. So yeah, anybody out there that might need that kind of work, that it might call to them like, whoa, who is this guy?
Yeah, I appreciate that, brother. Thank
Definitely
you.
find you. Yeah,
Thank you.
Absolutely. I can see it. And I'm so curious about what we said, though, because that, going back to that, you talked about writing versus versus like the oral tradition, which is what it used to be, versus now writing is the last 5,000 years.
That's why I think that's why there's it's 5,000 years. It's long, but it's not that long compared to how much more like history actually existed.
Yeah.
So there's two ways to look at it. I think writing has its benefits. And I also feel that writing has supported us in communicating and transferring certain things. Again, it's like if we were to go with the theory of the de-evolution of our consciousness, then writing was probably the mechanism to get these things out, right? Again, I don't know. You know, I was actually just listening to a video the other day that was talking about Socrates, and Socrates didn't write anything down. Plato didn't write anything down. I mean, the Socratic method was really about gathering people in the court and just like, let's riff, let's go, let's dance in this tension of ideas, right? And this video was talking about the invention of the printing press and how there was resistance to it at first, because I forgot what the video was talking about, but at first the printing press was shunned upon because I think it also constrained or limited people's ability to to like dance in the moment and
Yeah,
share
right,
and share stories and
right,
tell and wrestle with the myth, right?
right.
And find your own meaning in these
Yeah,
symbols.
yeah,
And then later down the line, the printing press became a mechanism where everyday lay people could have access to information. Because
yeah,
before then, it was just the kings and the priests
yeah.
and the church. And
Okay.
yeah, I think, yeah, there's some parts, even in like Europe, there was only astute, high class people that could read like the Bible.
Hmm.
So you had to rely on what you were told.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you had to rely on what you were told. Other places in the world, it's different, right?
Yeah.
Places like Timbuktu that had libraries like way before. But again, the printing press, I think, like a lot of things, was a gift and a curse. But here we are. Like we
Yeah.
can always adjust. Yeah.
Yeah. I find that fascinating because, you know, because all of us, I can see the benefits of distributing the information to
Mhm.
not just the king. So that's the positive side, not just the very high. So that's really interesting to see the positive
Yeah.
side of it. So everybody has the knowledge.
Yep.
But then I see more of the kind of darker side
Yes.
where what happens when it's in writing is that becomes the fact. And I wonder how this is so
That.
such a big problem
That.
in our society, because if you think about it, if you understand some spiritual principles and concepts, we are the meaning making machines.
Yes.
There is no inherent meaning in life. We're the ones that create meaning from everything.
Reality is neutral.
It's all neutral, right?
Reality is neutral.
So if you have symbols and like you have symbols and orally, oral stories, now you can take that and mold it in the way that's best for you.
And your journey. Exactly.
Instead of,
Yes.
oh, that's what this person said and that's the fact,
Yeah.
which sometimes takes you away from who you are.
Absolutely.
And you're like, that's not really true for me, but he said it was true. So he's the hierarchy. So I'm just going to listen to that.
I'm going to outsource my power
Yeah.
because he knows more than me, because he has access to this information that nobody else has access to. And the novelty of that is like, oh, okay, he must know. And it's like, no, no, we all know.
We all know.
We all know. Like, again, the ancient traditions knew this. And I can't speak for most, I can speak for some. Like in certain African traditions, ancient African traditions.
Yeah.
They would see you as a soul
Mm.
first.
Ah.
So now function becomes different.
Yeah.
Function is different.
Yeah.
They see you as a soul. They know, okay, this soul is arriving in this human experience.
Right.
It's here. Right? So even in some traditions, they would name you based off of what you're here to give.
Ah.
So while you're pregnant, they would do some ceremony. They would do like a ceremony, and they would communicate with your soul while you're in your mother's womb.
Whoa.
And they would ask, why did you come? And the soul would communicate. And that's what they would name the child, so the child never forgets why it's here. Right.
Oh my God.
So again, when you take a step back, and some traditions, they honor the function. It's like, oh, this is your soul first in a human experience, but you're also a human. So it's not either or, it's the combination of understanding like who's truly on the driver's seat.
Yeah. Wow.
So if you're here as a soul in the human experience, you have a specific path you're meant to walk.
Yeah.
And if I'm told to follow this fact, this one size fits all, that's when you start to run into problems.
Yeah. And you're titled Eric. You're titled a societal name
Yes.
that seems right or
Yes.
seems good, instead of like, am I really Eric? I don't know about that,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Eric Ferguson sounds a little better.
Yeah.
Ferguson's like, but it's like, okay, I have to talk about that, because even when you said speaking like from a soul,
Yep.
I all of a sudden felt like we were speaking, like our souls were speaking. And I
Always.
had a recent experience with a good friend,
Yeah.
where we were, we were one Friday night, we were really connected. We were watching a documentary, and it's like all this, because we had known each other so well from a soul perspective, it felt like we just met.
Mm.
But it's like we knew, like people out there know, like when you meet somebody, you're like, damn, I've known you for a long time, and I just met you.
Yeah.
Like we were talking as souls. We were talking about stuff that my logical mind had no idea, would have been too crazy, would have been out there, would have been ridiculous. But we were talking. I was like, yeah, she went through a whole experience a year and a half ago where she literally had almost like a seizure, where she stopped a toxic relationship that was never right for her.
Yeah.
She read a couple like really powerful books. One night she had this like literally like almost not a seizure, but she was just like shaking. Her life changed after that.
Interesting.
And all of a sudden what we were talking about soul to soul was like, I was like, you literally just shifted up consciousness levels to meet me here. Because I've been here.
Yeah.
I've been here since 2018.
You didn't know her as that before.
I didn't know her as that before.
Interesting.
But there was some kind of soul contract. Like I feel like she's my younger sister.
Interesting.
And it was like I literally knew in the moment, my logical mind, my practical mind would be like, that's ridiculous. But we were so in flow. I started speaking things as if they were like, I was speaking to her soul. And I was like, you just shifted levels of consciousness to meet me here. And it wasn't an ego. It was just that I've already been here since 2018.
Yeah.
You just shifted to this level. And this is why we're meeting now, for me to help you more. And there's such a difference when you speak at a soul level, just what you're talking about, as opposed to athlete, Eric, podcaster. Like, that's just fascinating.
The interesting thing but that's also a part of it.
Yeah.
Is also a part of it. I mean,
part of the journey.
Who am I to say that the soul doesn't want to experience this? Who are you to say that your soul doesn't want to be Eric or doesn't want to be a podcaster or doesn't?
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's like also
part of it. Don't reject any part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Like this current lifetime, what's your last name? Ferguson?
Ferguson.
Yeah. I'm Eric Ferguson, who at this stage in my life, I'm passionate about this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm coaching people. I was once an athlete, and it's like, oh, a collected experience.
Yeah.
And that's what the soul does. It's here to collect experiences.
And grow.
Doesn't judge them. It wants all experiences.
Oh.
Even the ones that
there's the judgment again.
We rate as bad or judge as wrong. It wants that experience as well. And if you deprive it of it, it is going to create conditions in your life to ensure that it goes back to go pick up that experience.
Wow.
Yeah, it needs all of it. All of its that's what it's here for.
Wow. For so long, I've been going away from the athlete thing because I wanted to be known for more than just an athlete. I'm more than just an athlete was the whole idea and the belief.
Yeah.
And I certainly am.
Yeah.
But I went so far away from it that I was like, I rejected. I'm not part of that world. I'm more, I'm better. And then I was like.
Did you notice it more around you when you did that?
Well, I got away from it and it was good, but a lot of people were telling me, they're like, you played pro sports,
exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Like, do you know what you did? And I'm like, yeah, like that's in the past, like whatever.
It's going to keep haunting you down.
And they're like, you should talk about that. You should continue to play sports for 5 or 6 years. And I've been like, yeah, whatever. It's just part of my history. Like I'm more than that. But it keeps knocking on my door and going, hey, this is a part of your path.
Yeah.
Hey man, go back to sports. Go connect with being an athlete.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. I think there's a lot of people that might achieve certain things, but then they kind of push them down like, oh, that's whatever.
Yeah.
No, like that was a big part of your life. So like don't judge or push away certain parts of yourself. Collect all the experiences.
It's acceptance of all of it. Of all of it. Now, I once heard somebody say, trying to live a one-sided life in a two-sided universe or in a holistic universe is it's the source of some suffering.
Wow.
So just wanting to be one way all the time,
Ain't
impossible.
gonna happen.
You could do it out in the open externally,
Right.
but behind closed doors in your closet, I bet it's showing up.
Yeah, we're multi-dimensional
Yeah,
beings.
we're whole beings.
We're whole.
We're whole.
And that's the future. The future is holistic, and that's what this podcast is about, man.
Yes.
And thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
Because it's about holistic self-actualization.
Yeah.
It's not about success in your career and money and respect, but then lacking everything else or poor relationships. It's crushing your life as a whole. You know, like that's the new success.
Absolutely.
And contribution.
Absolutely, man.
Beautiful. Well, as we wrap this up, I always ask everybody, every amazing guest like you, man, you're really, really awesome. 3 things, you know, if you were to fast forward to the end of your life, I know you're cool with death, but I ask people, like, if you're to pass away with peace and be like, you know what, I did everything my soul was meant to do. I achieved these goals, or I lived by this philosophy, or I accomplished these things, or I lived this way. What would be 3 things for you and your soul to say, you know what, I'm okay to go to the next and transition with peace?
Can you ask me the question again?
If you're to transition, you're kind of at the moment of death.
Yeah.
And you're about to pass away, and you look back at your life and you go, you know what, there was 3 things that I did that allow me to pass away with peace in this lifetime.
Yeah.
What would those 3 things be for you?
It's really just one thing.
It's one thing.
And it brings up emotion, is that I was present for it all. I was present with every conversation. I was present with both of my daughters. I was present with my wife. I was present with every client. I was present
With Eric.
With Eric. I was present with all of it.
Why?
Completion. Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Samson, that was an amazing conversation. There were so many more things we could have gone into. But presence, because that is completion. Thank you so much for being on the Full Potential Living podcast, man. I really appreciate you as a person, as a soul, as somebody that's doing great work in the world and helping a lot of people in powerful ways.
Yeah.
And where can people find you? Like what's your pin on the internet or
on Instagram, Samsons_strength.
All right.
Yeah.
And they can reach out to you.
Absolutely.
If they're in grief or if they're going through some kind of transition, they're a leader, maybe an athlete.
You notice certain patterns are repeating. You know that you have to grieve and you haven't. You maybe just experience a loss and you don't know how to navigate it. You're in between and you have lost the floor beneath your feet and it feels disorienting and confusing and you don't know what's next and everything is scary. You know you're meant for more. You're tired of playing the survival game and you want to reconnect with the voice of your soul and live from there and create. Yeah. I'm your guy.
That is Full Potential Living. Thank you so much for being on, man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. Thanks.